adjust the image size for everybody because the TV's a little far across the room. But we've got Notre Dame, Southern Cal, hour 1 for you. Hour 2, it'll be Penn State and Michigan on the official Clemson Sports Talk simulations. But first, before we get to all that, let me at least introduce the producer extraordinaire who spends a lot of time at the gym in the massage chair. I'm not sure exactly how that's going to get you back to good, Lowell, but nonetheless, welcome into the program, my man. What's going on?
Bada boom. Realest champs in the room. How you doing?
No Clemson, no football tomorrow. No South Carolina Gamecock football tomorrow. State Fair's in town, though, I think. I mean, that's something that's available to people. But, yeah, I mean, not exactly thoroughly excited about where we are right now. Just, I don't like a bye week. I mean, I know we need a bye week. And, boy, after watching Clemson up at Syracuse last week, it felt like the Tigers needed a bye week. But, are you feeling what I'm saying about that? I mean, the bye week blues.
I guess sort of, but no, not really, because there's still football on.
Well, but we wait all year for college football to get here, Lowell.
Okay.
We wait all year. Do you not remember June and July on this show?
Sure. So why do you want to rush through the games? Why don't you just relax for a minute?
We are 7 games in already. How is that even possible? And now we have a bye week. NBA basketball, though, yesterday, did you know this? Yesterday was only, I think, the 17th time I heard this, the 17th time in history that the NBA, college football, college basketball, and Major League Baseball had games on the same day. They call that the sports equinox, Lowell. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
I'm not surprised you didn't know that. Lowell, any big plans this weekend when you got a bye week? I mean, some people are trying to do some really cool stuff with the weekend off. Lots of weddings, I'm sure, here in the state of South Carolina. All of that. I warn against the fall wedding because it will eventually fall on a Clemson home game or a South Carolina home game, depending on who you pull for. I try to keep people off of that stuff. 803-978-1832, 803-978-1832. There's a guy tonight taking his wife out to dinner on their anniversary. He's listening to this show right now before he goes home and sprays on the cologne to get ready for the night out with the wife. And I know he's anticipating a good night with his wife, but he's also saying to me, Swanee, you're right, because last year I missed the Clemson football game because I got married in the fall. That guy, I feel for you, bro. I feel for you. Lowell, you laugh. Should I not feel for that guy? I got married in the summer. There are some ground rules to marrying this stud.
Yeah, sounds like he made his own bed. Now he has to sleep in it.
Now he's got to lie in it. Now you got to lie in it. That takes me back to some of those tweets we were reading yesterday about Tennessee, the last time Tennessee beat Alabama. I still kind of crack up at the guy that said, the last time Tennessee beat Alabama, I was 30 and had no kids. I'm now 40. I have an 8-year-old and a 4-year-old. And I'm like, yeah, I'm kind of with you. I am in that exact boat. So that's what we've got going on here on the program tonight. We've got the simulation Saturdays going. They are live. Did you happen to get those posted over on the website, Lowell?
I did.
All right. So it is posted right now for everybody that wants to watch Southern Cal, Notre Dame. You'll look at the rankings, and that might throw you off a little bit. The only problem with our simulations are we cannot update the rankings because this game updates rankings as the season progresses, and we start every week with the beginning of the season. But we take out the injured players for the most part, the ones that we know for sure, and then we let her rip. And right now, Southern Cal's leading Notre Dame 7-0. I know we've got predictions coming up in the program, but without giving away too much, Lowell, is this a game that you expect to be a tight ball game, or would you think one of these two teams may run away with it tomorrow night?
I actually tend to think one of these teams is going to run away from the other one. And I'm not going to say who's going to run away from who, but I Yeah, I think one of them is going to run away. I think this is going to be I say run away. 2 touchdowns, 14 points, 14, 17 points. Not necessarily a blowout, but let's say pull away from the other one.
I had some folks talking to me today, and it seems like even though we've moved further away from Syracuse, partially because of the bye week, that game keeps coming back. People are reflecting more on Syracuse than they are on Clemson's forthcoming matchup against Georgia Tech. I want to throw a theory out there, and I want to find out what the people think. And again, you can hit us up on Twitter. It is the Midlands Veterinary Practice Twitter feed at Clemson Sports. There's a theory out there that this team had tired legs, that this Clemson Tiger team was just worn out at the midpoint of the season. They were talking about the upcoming bye week and the opportunity to rest, but that they were just already worn down. That's theory 1. Do you buy that? Theory 2 is they saw the bye week. They were a little bit tired, a little bit exasperated perhaps. They saw the bye week looming. They were so focused on getting to the bye week that they just forgot the focus on Syracuse. And then I guess there's just theory 3. And theory 3 is Clemson just didn't play their best game. They weren't tired. They didn't overlook Syracuse. They just didn't play well. They had an injured quarterback in all of the storylines that go along with that. I want to say this. I believe that mental acuity and mental stamina, staying in focus on what you have to do, is difficult to do when you are tired and worn down. Maybe even more so. I would argue it's harder to be sharp mentally than it is to be sharp physically when you are just gassed, when you are just tired. Clemson set a record in the past 10 years for the most penalty yards in this game. I mean, guys like Christian Wilkins, guys like Austin Bryant, names that you haven't seen get called for penalties or getting called for penalties left and right in this game. And it wasn't one where Tiger fans were justifying the penalties being thrown by some rogue zebras on the field, right? Did anybody come away from that game and go, man, you know what? The refs really hosed us. Man, that loss is on the refs, dude. Nobody was saying that. Nobody was in that lane. Nobody was there.
I think part of the reason nobody was there is because there was, 10, 11 penalties on Syracuse, too. I think there was like a combined 23 penalties in the ball game for over 200 yards.
But which of those theories would you buy into, Tiger Nation? If you had to choose one, if you said Swanee, it was absolutely one of those. And I've been racking my brain. I've been going back and forth with it, Swanee. I've been on ClemsonSportsTalk.com, reading the articles, seeing the work, thinking through it all. Which one would you put it on, Lowell? Is it possible that this was just a tired team that got beat by Syracuse? Again, Syracuse had not had a bye. They weren't coming off of something where they should have been fresh. Were they just focused on the week ahead and the break? I mean, essentially Clemson had really cruised this season, right? I mean, is that not what's happened? Has Clemson cruised thus far? I would say Auburn didn't feel like much of a cruise, but it also didn't feel like a bad day on the ocean. You know what I mean? I wasn't nauseated. It was 14-6, but did you ever at any point in that game really go, well, Auburn's really making me nervous here. They're threatening. I know Clemson didn't rack up the points left and right. Clemson didn't, the pinball machine or whatever you want to call it wasn't just going crazy with points on the board. But it never felt like Auburn threatened Clemson. Then you go to Louisville, hammer down. Boston College hangs around for 3 quarters, hammer down. Four touchdowns in the fourth quarter. Virginia Tech punched them in the face. Wake Forest, you're up big. And then they score 2 touchdowns late to narrow that gap. But, going into Syracuse, all in all, in some respects, Clemson had cruised this season. So here we are today. 5 games remaining in the regular season, no game this weekend, a chance to get your, quote, legs back underneath you if that's what you buy into. But what happened, in your estimation? Was it just a byproduct of the Greg the Leg injury? If Hugel is there, does Clemson win that game? Forget the quarterback situation. Forget Kelly Bryant's ankle. If Greg the Leg is there, does Clemson win that game? I don't know where you want to go with it. I'll be honest, I had not really thought too much about the tired leg theory. Has that not been sort of the conversation from the coaching staff? I mean, heck, 2 weeks ago, everybody was complaining that Clemson was playing people. Why are we playing so many people? Leave the starters in. Now can you blame it on tired legs? You've been subbing. Double O on the line with us tonight. Double O, welcome into the show. What's up?
Hey, brother. How y'all doing?
Great, man.
I'll tell you, there was a tired leg. The field goal kicker had a bad leg, and if he had kicked 2 field goals, we'd have won. That's number one. And number 2 would be, I think the coaches made a mistake by putting Cooper in the game, and when Johnson has proved, from what I've seen both quarterbacks, and Johnson would have been a much accurate passer, and I think we would have pulled up, go ahead and ran away with the game and won by at least 10. Well, no, I can't say 10 because we can't kick a field goal. Probably going against Georgia Tech, we'll probably go for 2 if we after every score instead of kicking an extra point. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. Listen, I don't know. I'll tell you, it was frustrating, Double O, I think, because those were makeable kicks. If those are 45-yard field goals, 50-yard field goals, I think we'd all be excusing it today. It's the makeable aspect that's really bugging people on the field goals.
No doubt about it, brother. I mean, very makeable, no doubt. And just put it in the books. Like I said, we went out. Georgia Tech take care of the business there. Take care of business at Florida State and North Carolina State. Run those, and we'll go to the ACC championship. Win that, and then we're back in the playoffs.
Appreciate it, brother. Yeah, man. Hey, thank you.
Hey,
yeah.
Thank you, brother. Y'all
All
have
right.
a good one now. Go, Tiger!
There we go. Double O's fired up and ready to go. Lowell, where would you put it? I mean, would you buy the tired legs argument? I had some people talk to me about that.
I think defensively, the depth is not necessarily there along the defensive line. I think injuries have hurt the defensive end position particularly. Now, defensive tackle, you should be able to rotate guys in a little more. You have a little more depth there, but at defensive end, it's not there. So it's a possibility. That's a possibility. They just looked undisciplined, and I haven't seen that from a Clemson defense in a while. Even like in the Pitt game, at least in the second half, you made some adjustments and you looked a little bit better defensively. They never looked like they got focused in that game. You had some sparks here and there. You had a big sack or you had a big tackle for loss, but overall, consistently throughout the game, they looked flat. They didn't look focused. They didn't look interested. So I don't know if that's tired legs or they're just looking ahead to the bye week. But I haven't seen that from Clemson defense in a while.
It was disappointing, that's for sure. And I can imagine, Brent Venables is a guy who, is it safe to say, is as fired up as perhaps anybody.
Yeah, he gets mad about giving up a first down late in the game when you're up by 35 points.
I felt like he got mad at me when I asked a question about giving up a touchdown late in the game. I said to him, Coach, did you ever think that you were going to have that goose egg against Wake Forest at one point there in the fourth quarter? No, I don't think that way. Never have. And he went on his his little rant there. But yeah, I mean, again, I think that there's an element of tiredness that may have come into it, but I would not blame that loss on it. I really think it all comes down to having a kicker, having a capable backup kicker. And maybe that's unfair to heap that burden on Alex Spence. And I'm not really trying to do that. Like William Qualkenbush came on the show and said, look, I'm not going to attack Alex Spence. Where's Deion Kane? Okay, why isn't Deion Kane being more productive? So this is not meant to be an attack on Spence as much as just a true observation. If Clemson had a kicker, I think they win that game. Tired leg, overlooking, all of that, I think they come out on top. And that's what's probably the most frustrating thing for me. I don't think you lost the game because Syracuse is a better team or even that Syracuse out-schemed you. Now, one of the things, too, though, with the tired leg incident, Clemson's staff had the short week to get to that game, and they still taxed the defense to try and teach them how to cope with the speed of Syracuse. And if that is indeed something that you believe could have led to tired legs, a short week, Friday night game, then maybe. But, my theory is you have a kicker, you win. You have a backup kicker that's capable, you win. 803-978-1832, the show that shakes the Southland, Clemson Sports Talk on Fox Sports Radio 1400 and Fox Sports Radio 1019 and 1050 AM continues right after this.
Kitchen cabinets were coming off the wall. The chandelier in the dining room was just about to fall from the floor up to the ceiling. It's got a brand new home feeling.
Let the remodeling begin. Don't miss your chance to win Fox Sports and Floor Pro's $100,000 fall home makeover. Think of the possibilities. $100,000 to spend on your home however you choose. Enter for a chance to win now at foxsportsradio1400.com using keyword home and let the remodeling begin. That's foxsportsradio1400.com. Keyword home. Fox Sports and Floor Pro's $100,000 fall home makeover. Powered by Solatube, Mayhem Roofing, Gateway Supply, and Floor Pro. Because quality starts from the floor up.
Our customers receive the best heating and air conditioning service in South Carolina. Hi, I'm Tim Mosley, and I can make that statement because that's what our customers tell us every day. We call it quality confirmed. Call us at 803-233-7172, and we'll call you when the job is done to confirm we met your expectations. That's quality confirmed. We're Carolina Conditions, and we're committed to meeting your expectations. 803-233-7172. Call us at 803-233-7172.
Hey guys, Lawton Swan here. I was hanging out in the backyard with my son Mason the other day, and he said, "Dad, you're the best father ever." I was like, "What makes you say that, son?" He said, "When I go outside to play now, I don't get eaten up by the bugs anymore." Imagine that, me, a hero, when all I did was just a couple of weeks ago call Trey Powell at Mosquito Joe with their routine service plan. No more bugs and no more bites. Make yourself the family hero. Call Mosquito Joe today, 803-223-7916. Outside is fun again.
It's Macy's One Day Sale. Shop incredible deals of the day. Saturday, save 40% on super cute juniors dresses. Take 50% off dress shirts from designers you love. Save 50 to 70% on a selection of fine jewelry. Like dazzles. So many shoes, so little time. Get 30 to 50% off styles for her. And save on sheet sets or bed ensembles. Now only $29.99. Earn plenty points during Macy's One Day Sale. Plenty. Lots of points. Lots of places. One rewards program. Savings off regular and sale prices. Exclusions apply.
Welcome back to Clemson Sports Talk. Join the show now at 978-1832 or text 803-450-0086.
It is the show that shakes the Southland. Lawton Swan, Lowell the producer, Lou Bajak. Follow him on Twitter, @Lou, @The State, stepping into the arena on a Friday night to talk a little high school football. Kind of felt like Clemson played a little high school football last weekend, to be honest with you, Lou. It was not fun watching the Clemson Tigers get beat if you were a Clemson Tiger fan up at Syracuse. I don't know if you had a chance to watch that, but we had a great debate here on the program moments ago. Was that about tired legs, looking more to the bye week, maybe overlooking Syracuse? What do you think, Lou, just diving into the college football scene for a moment?
I think all the above. I don't know about tired legs, but I think probably overlooking, trying to get to a bye week, knowing you got games against Georgia Tech and NC State down the road. I think that combination and playing it on a Friday, which doesn't happen. I'm all for it if they want to play on Fridays, but they usually don't have top programs playing on Fridays. It's usually for those other schools looking for exposure. But Syracuse was it was in a perfect storm, and kind of everything had to go right, and did for Syracuse. Kelly Bryant gets hurt on top of that, so it was just kind of a perfect storm for Syracuse Friday night.
Not exactly the way Clemson drew it up, but then again, how many people thought this team would be 6-1 at this point in the season? And talking about teams that are 6-1 and teams that are moving on, we were kind of joking, Lowell and I, before you came on the air, man. The college football season moves quick, but the high school season seems to move even faster, man. I mean, we're closing in on the playoffs, and I believe are some teams already getting into the playoffs now?
Yeah, not in this is the next to last week of the regular season. Next week is the final week of the regular season, then playoffs start after that. Yeah, it's it looked like you're just back in August with the beginning of workouts in the summer, and now here you are, senior nights, many places around the area, and a lot of stuff's going to be decided this week, beginning where I'm at Spring Valley and Dutch Fork, where the two top teams in the Midlands meet for the region title and home field advantage throughout the lower state playoffs. So this is a big one. Definitely, if you need a game to go to tonight, this is definitely it.
Yeah, that's the one that everybody's been talking about here locally. And when you talk about these two teams, two different school districts cross town coming together. What's the environment like tonight?
It's going to be a good one. I know I was here earlier in the season for the 4D game, and Dutch Fork packed the stands, and 4T didn't bring that many, but I think Spring Valley is going to bring a lot. There's already a lot of people tailgating outside, and it's senior night, and I think it's going to be a fantastic high school football environment.
I'm going to be honest. I absolutely love high school football this time of the year. The fresh cut blades of grass, just the cool, damp air coming in throughout the night, and there's some other big games in the area. Talk to us a little bit about the matchup between Chapin and Orangeburg-Wilkinson. I know that the Chapin Eagles aren't having the best season. They're at 5-3 right now, but what do you expect to see in that one?
Yeah, it's a big bounce-back game for them because a lot's riding on it. They have a non-region game to finish the season next week. So if they get this, they get the 3 wins and at least put themselves in position for at least a share of the region title. They slipped up a little bit last week. Lower Richland surprised a lot of people, won their first region game in 4 years and took it to Chapin pretty good, 40-20. But, so Orangeburg-Wilkinson coming in, they're right in the mix, too, for the region. They need to win out this weekend, Lower Richland. So it should be a great ball game. Low scoring, I think. Chapin is a more finesse passing the ball, and Orangeburg-Wilkinson's more physical, smash mouth type of team.
Yeah, another great team coming down to the Midlands tonight from up in Rock Hill. South Point High School coming down to take on Richland Northeast. What's your take on that matchup as those two square off?
Yeah, it's not going to be pretty. They're going for the trifecta in the Midlands. They beat Ridgeview a few weeks ago, beat in Westwood a couple weeks ago. Now going for the three-peat in the Midlands against Northeast, and Northeast is missing some guys. I don't think it'll be close. It's just a matter, I think, South Point could almost put their pick their score tonight, and they'll have a big one next week against York. That'll be for the region title. So as long as they're not looking ahead and things go wrong, I think South Point should win easy.
So South Point wins it easily tonight, in Lou Bajak's opinion. Follow him on Twitter, @Lou@the-state. Now another couple of crosstown. I would call all of these, the games that are kind of played between Richland and Lexington County just feel like natural rivalries to me. White Knoll at Blythewood. There'll be a lot of people crossing I-20 to get to that matchup. Your thoughts on that game?
Yeah, that's another big game. You look at this Region 5-5A, you got Spring Valley, Dutch Fork, and Lexington kind of separated themselves. But the other 4 teams only have one region win, and they all play each other tonight. So the winners of the games will clinch playoff spots most likely. And White Knoll, they're struggling a little bit. They had a good win over South Aiken earlier in the year. Blythewood kind of hit the skids a little bit, but they get their quarterback Quentin Patton back tonight. Hopefully he can start that offense, which has really struggled in recent weeks. So I think both teams have really good defenses. So I look for a low-scoring game. Should be a good game, and then the winner punches their playoff ticket.
This is one I might throw you a little bit of a curveball, but you've hit them out of the park so far, so I'm going to go with it anyway because my Barnwell Warhorses are still undefeated. They take on a 7-1 Bamberg Earhart team tonight. I don't know what you think about that one at W.W. Carter Stadium in Barnwell, but do you think the Horses stay undefeated?
It's going to be a good one. Bamberg survived a heck of a challenge last week from Batesburg, Leesville. I think they blew a 2-touchdown lead, but went in overtime and were able to get a win. So yeah, it's a huge game. Definitely region implications, and I like Barnwell. Bamberg's playing well. They had a couple issues, I think, with an eligible player, but it didn't affect their region total. But
right,
but I think Barnwell's a team. I think they get it done and keep that undefeated season going.
Man, I'll tell you what, I hope so as well. The Horses haven't been this good in quite a while. Lou, always great to have you on here on the Friday edition of the program, man. Enjoy yourself tonight at one of the top matchups that'll be played here in the Midlands of South Carolina over at Spring Valley as they take on Dutch Fork. Looking forward to talking to you next Friday.
All right, thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Have a good night.
On Twitter, he's @Lou@the-state, and I guarantee you right now, Lowell, there's a boat of French fries with ketchup all over him sitting right in front of him because he's a man like me at the stadium going all in from the concession stands. You know what? I wonder if they comp you stuff like that if you're in the media at these high school football games. Think they comp you the French fry?
Well, we could take some media passes down to a high school game and find out.
Could you say that? Take some media passes?
Yeah, we could take some media passes with us down to a high school game and find out if they comp it.
We need media passes?
Sure. Well, you have it so you're official. So you look official. You just have it with you.
Okay.
And so they know you're actually media.
Where do the free French fries come in?
Once they confirm your media.
That's how it works.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right. So, yeah, Barnwell hosting Bamberg Earhart tonight. Get this. Barnwell plays Silver Bluff, who's traditionally Barnwell's rival at the end of the season. Next weekend, Silver Bluff got beat by Bamberg 30-0. So if Barnwell beats Bamberg tonight, an undefeated regular season for the Warhorses might be a possibility. Southern Cal all over Notre Dame. If you're not watching on our Saturday simulation on the Friday edition of Clemson Sports Talk, we will take you there when we return and update the score.
For 28 years, the professional staff of the Hobbs Group and Hobbs Group Advisors has been dedicated to helping others achieve their financial goals by delivering quality, objective financial and accounting solutions to a diverse client base of individuals and businesses all over South Carolina. We offer tax and audit services, bookkeeping, payroll, litigation support, employee benefits, personal financial planning, investment management, and insurance services. Please call us at 803-799-0555 or visit our website, hobbscpa.com, to learn more about our people and services.
Need custom shirts, hats, or uniforms? How about promotional giveaways for your business or organization? Need fast turnaround times? Look no further than Meridian Printing and Promotions. Located in Lexington, they provide an in-house art department, in-house screen printing, and in-house embroidery services to the Midlands and beyond. For the absolute best quality products and services, contact Meridian Printing and Promotions, 785-4990. Check them out online, mbspromo.com.
Lawton Swan here, and I know in sports we're always talking about the big guy. Well, let me tell you, when you're buying a car, you don't need that. What you need to do is head down to Orangeburg to my good friends at Ferry Chevrolet Cadillac. 4 generations of family-owned business right there at Ferry Chevrolet. No dock fees, no tricks, straightforward pricing in a low-pressure environment you'll love. Check them out online, ferrychevrolet.com, or call them 803-536-1600. It's Ferry Chevrolet Cadillac, just a short 30-minute drive off of exit 145A in Orangeburg.
Looking to get away without having to spend a whole day traveling to your destination? Ocean Reef Resort offers 1, 2, 3, and 4-bedroom accommodations with the comforts of home and boasts the best oceanfront views. Swim in their sparkling indoor and outdoor pools, relax in their hot tubs, try out the Adventure Oasis pool with adult-sized water slide, or just float down the 250-foot lazy river. Visit us at oceanreefmyrtlebeach.com or call us at 1-866-935-0530 to learn more.
Now, today's forecast from the Exergen Temporal Scanner Thermometer Weather Center.
Tonight, the skies will stay clear all night long, and the temperatures will drop down to the low 50s. Tomorrow, sunny and warm. Afternoon highs reaching into the low 80s. For Channel 25 ABC Columbia, I'm Chief Meteorologist John Farley.
This report is brought to you by Fred Anderson Toyota of Columbia.
2017 model sell down at Fred Anderson Toyota of Columbia. Get 0 APR for up to 72 months on new 2017 Toyotas, or up to $7,900 off MSRP. Fred Anderson Toyota of Columbia.
iHeartRadio. All your favorite music, all your favorite stations, all free. And now, with football season in full swing, let's be honest, most of your week is focused on your fantasy team or teams. No reason to leave the iHeartRadio app, because now we have the Fantasy Sports Radio Network. 24/7 interactive fantasy talk and advice so you can dominate your league. Get your fantasy football fix right on the app. Fantasy Sports Radio Network. iHeartRadio.
Welcome back to Clemson Sports Talk. Join the show in the chat room at clemsonsportstalk.com.
I was trying to get it I live. I want them dead presidents. I want to pull up, head spin, get it, get fly. I got 6 jobs. I don't get tired. I don't get tired. I don't get tired. I don't get tired. Get it, get fly. I got 6 jobs. I don't get
full-time father, full-time artist. Ex-guard, he said grind harder, learn from
Grind harder, that's what I said. Lowell, the producer, grind harder here on the show that shakes the Southland. Fox Sports Radio 1400 the Midlands. Fox Sports Radio 1019 and 1050 AM Myrtle Beach, Conway. Lowell, I got to know. Have you got that call from the 843? Have you had the call from the 84 Thrizzle? Are we still waiting on that call?
Didn't we have one a couple weeks ago?
It was a Gamecock.
Oh, so so it's not necessarily, any 843. It needs to be a Clemson fan.
Well, listen, if you're in the 843 and you're driving through Columbia and you call, then technically, no, that's not a call from the 843. Right?
I thought they were in Myrtle Beach.
Isn't Myrtle Beach an 843 area code? I mean, I know the coast typically is, but Myrtle Beach is sort of the northern side of South Carolina. In all honesty, I mean, if you just divided South Carolina by instead of the the different regions of our state. My son's in third grade. I've been learning about the intercoastal, the coastal plain, the intercoastal plain, the outer coastal plain, the Piedmont, the sandhills, the foothills. I mean, I can do this social studies lesson if you guys want to learn something here. Lowell, do you know what region you live in the state of South Carolina? 3, 2, Sandhills, Lowell. Sandhills.
Okay, cool. Works for me.
Yes, my man. That's what my wife does. When's our anniversary? 3, 2, oh God, February 8th. No, that's your birthday. Was that close? That's the way I feel. Guys, does your wife do that to you too? And wives, I don't have a problem with you doing that, but give us a little more than 3. I wish you'd count at 10. It would give me a little more time to think. I mean, if I ask you anything, Lowell, and I count down, there's pressure, right? I mean, what's your favorite color? 3, 2, 1. You said nothing. You couldn't even.
Oh, I thought you were just doing. I didn't know you wanted me to actually answer. I could have done that in 3 seconds. That was an easy one.
All right, best player in the NBA. 3, 2.
LeBron James.
I almost got to 0. So you got. I mean, seriously, if you had to have something for dinner right now, 3, 2, 1.
Fried chicken. I had to think about that one for a minute. I wasn't sure.
It's a little pressure, right? Yeah, my wife does this to me all the time. And then guess what happens if I miss it?
You get smacked.
I do. So I get really. So now I can't even. Now when she just asked the question, I get stressed out. I get so stressed out I can't even concentrate. 803-978-1832. But those calls got to come from the 8-4 Thrizzle. Can I call it the 8-4 Thrizzle?
I wish you wouldn't.
It's kind of unique. Nobody else calls it that.
There's probably a reason.
Okay. So we won't do that. All right. High school football action, though, Lowell. Again, always fun having Lou Bajek on the program. You're right, though, man. Just a couple of weeks until we get into postseason play. I don't know where it goes. You just blink and you move on. You just blink and it's gone. All right, this game, though, we said we were going to update everybody. Let's do it. Southern Cal all over Notre Dame in our official simulation.
Yeah, Brandon Wimbush has thrown like 4 picks.
23-7. 23-7 in the latter stages of the third quarter of action. Sam Darnold leading the way for the Trojans in this one. You can watch it over on ClemsonSportsTalk.com. And if you're just tuning in, this is a simulation. Don't think this game's happening. I can only imagine the person that scans through the radio stations and stops for a brief second and is a Southern Cal fan, and then he's panicking because he thinks the game is actually on, and then he's texting his Southern Cal buddies or calling his buddies, what are we doing? Or if you're the Notre Dame guy, I guess I should say on the other, how can we possibly be getting pushed around the field like this? It is now 26-7 SoCal leading the way. 803-978-1832. If you want to get in and be a part of the conversation, we would love to hear from you. You can also hit us up on Twitter at Clemson Sports, as Clemson news, notes, information, and more 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Roger hit us up from the 864. Dude, he's got the grill going tonight on the Friday edition of the program. That's what I'm talking about right there. I can't tell if that is pork or steak, but it looks fantastic. By the way, earlier today, Clemson was in the mix for a offensive line prospect, Richard Gurridge, I believe is how you pronounce his name, offensive tackle. He was down to Clemson in Florida. Gurridge committed to the Gators just a little bit ago before we came on the air. Now, coming up at 7:30 tonight, Clemson's in the mix for a tight end named Mustafa Muhammad, who I've been high on this guy, Lowell, for a while. Mustafa Muhammad. He's going to make his commitment tonight. I believe it's 7:30. So we will let you know if Muhammad commits to Clemson. A lot of people feel like he is a Michigan lean. We'll see, though. Cleveland man joining the show that shakes the Southland tonight. Cleveland man, what's up, buddy?
Good afternoon, gentlemen. National Championship Show. You know who's the Achilles heels on this defense right now? He remind me of Curse in the secondary.
Who?
Tanner Muse.
Really?
You see how there was no secondary. Syracuse was wide open. He was always playing the run.
I'll give you this, Cleveland man. I think at times he can be overly aggressive. Yes, I will agree.
Exactly. He picked up that fumble. That was great. But how come this guy is wide open a lot? I mean, these big receivers, they're out of Florida. They had some great receivers, man. You got to give them that.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. And you know another thing? The defensive line, I might be wrong. I think now because they've been playing, they look like they were worn out, man.
You thought so? So you go with the tired legs theory?
No, just a beat-up football team.
Okay.
You know, everybody play their best to beat the champions. They bring the A game. See, that's one thing Clemson has to realize. Everybody's going to bring their A game every week. Even the Citadel. When you're the champ, you want to talk. Everybody play their best. And Dabble would not let the team pull away. He had a chance to pull away against Wake Forest. They gave up 2 touchdowns at the end. You know, Boston College, but Boston College beat Louisville, so you don't know what's going on with that. So I don't know a lot. You all have a great weekend, man.
Hey, man, you too. Enjoy it, Cleveland man. Great phone call. Thank you. So Cleveland man's kind of into the tired legs, but not completely. Just a worn-out ball club, I believe he said. So, yeah, there you go. Now, again, Mustafa Muhammad, I thought it was at 6:30 Central. It's 6:45, so they moved it back a little bit. So that'll be 7:45 our time. We'll let you know right here on Clemson Sports Talk if he commits before the top of the hour. And if not, make sure you're over on ClemsonSportsTalk.com because we'll have it covered for you over there. 803-978-1832. This is the point of the program where I reach out to you to say, hey, you know what? Come join us over on ClemsonSportsTalk.com. Right now, subscriptions, half off, $49.95 for an entire year of Clemson sports coverage. I know everything, we're giving it away right now, but we won't be forever. But we'd love to have your support. Stay with us here on Fox Sports Radio.
Listen to what our customers say about their pit stop.
They have 12-ounce Coca-Cola 6-packs for $3 for $5. 3 6-packs for $5. That is quite awesome. Don't stop till you're at pit stop.
Stars and Stripes Sports is a leader in the sports athlete development market, offering innovative health, fitness, training, and player development solutions for players and coaches of all levels of youth sports. Stars and Stripes Sports is looking to add at least 2 people per state to start their own business for sports testing and to market these events locally. We want people to start their programs in early 2017, starting with spring training. Many high-quality athletes fail to reach their potential. Call Chris today, 704-737-9970, or email Chris Carlson at starsandstripesports.com.
Cottingham Family Dentistry is proud to announce the opening of their new office located at 3722 Devine Street, and they're welcoming new patients. What makes Cottingham Family Dentistry different? It's in the name, family. They will cater to your needs and the dental needs of your children. Cottingham Family Dentistry offers same-day crowns, dental implants, cosmetic dentistry, including whitening, veneers, and tooth-colored fillings, and many other dental services. If you're searching for an amazing dental home, call 776-4234 or stop by their new office at 3722 Devine Street and become a part of the family at Cottingham Family Dentistry.
You got the bye-week blues. You got the bye-week blues.
Are you a South Carolina Gamecock or a Clemson Tiger fan and have no game to go to this week? Oh, you got the bye-week blues. Satterfield's Jewelry Warehouse has the cure. Get 15% off any South Carolina Gamecock or Clemson Tiger apparel. All sterling silver this week is 20% off. See our huge selection of bracelets and beads for 50 to 80% off. Need a new watch? Get 30% off any Citizens watch. Get ready for Christmas by laying away anything with just a $10 deposit. All gold jewelry, rings, pendants, earrings, chains, bracelets this week. Get 15% off. Gold stackables, a buy one, get one half price. Any ring sized under 2.5 millimeters, just $10. Sterling, 10K, 14K. Buying gift cards, get 10% off any gift card purchase this week. Say goodbye, bye-week blues. Hello savings this week at Satterfield's Jewelry Warehouse for life's every moment.
Need custom shirts, hats, or uniforms? How about promotional giveaways for your business or organization? Need fast turnaround times? Look no further than Meridian Printing and Promotions. Located in Lexington, they provide an in-house art department, in-house screen printing, and in-house embroidery services to the Midlands and beyond. For the absolute best quality products and services, contact Meridian Printing and Promotions, 785-4990. Check them out online, mbspromo.com.
For more information about contests on this station, go to foxsportsradio1400.com/rules. Welcome back to Clemson Sports Talk. Join the show in the chat room at ClemsonSportsTalk.com.
Yeah, are you kidding me? That's the jam right there. You know, I heard it on the way in on 105.5. The beat, man. I heard it on the beat heading in here to the studio tonight. Awesome. No. Not the beat. Throwback 105.5. The beat's 100.1, lol.
Okay.
Throwback 105.5. They were playing that on my way in. Get up, stand up, come on, put your hands up. Are you a jump around guy or are you more of a jump around House of Pain guy, or are you more of a crisscross jump?
Jump around.
Yeah, me too. Talking about the Irish. They're getting smoked by Southern Cal because, of course, the guys from House of Pain are Irish. I don't know if you knew that or not, Lowell. That's a little factoid you might have needed on your next Jeopardy episode that you play.
I don't think so. I don't think I'll ever use that, but okay.
Southern Cal 33, Notre Dame 7 here on our official simulation. About 2 minutes left. It has not been a good offensive performance.
Yeah, you know, part of the problem is the ratings and everything are not updated throughout the year. Like, there's one rating, a team gets the rating, and then that's it for the year. They don't do any more work on it. So this is preseason USC versus preseason 4-8 Notre Dame. That's part of the problem.
So it doesn't recognize that Notre Dame's actually better than they may be on this game.
And this is a top 5 USC team.
Yeah.
I think the overalls were like USC was a 93 and Notre Dame was an 84.
Still seems to be a pretty big gap, though, to me. I mean, in all honesty, that's a good little run, but no yardage, unfortunately. 803-978-1832, 803-978-1832. Of course, guests always join us via the D&C Trucking and Transport guest line, and we are so thankful to have our new listeners over in the Myrtle Beach Conway area on 101.9 and 1050 AM. So I have been informed, Lowell, that I should not say the 8-4 thrizzle. I just don't understand this. Why people don't believe in me. Why people don't have any confidence that I can pull off the 8-4 thrizzle as a real thing. Checking out the Ocean Reef Resort text line, Clemson Craig says, I'm not fly enough to say thrizzle.
I would agree with that.
Boozer coming in strong, talking about Clemson here tonight on the show that shakes the Southland. Says, Swanee, our Achilles heel has been special teams, whether the return coverage or what. It cost us in 2016, and it could keep us out this year as well. Now, it's a little bit different. He's talking, I think, the kicking aspect of special teams, but special teams has absolutely been a problem for Clemson in recent memory. I mean, it really has. When was the last time you would say to yourself, that's a real strength, top to bottom, Clemson special teams? I would say it's been a while since it was a true strength in all facets. I'm talking punt return, kick return, field goals, kickoffs. What am I missing?
2011.
Been a while.
I mean, that was the year Sammy Watkins was on kick returns and punt returns, and he was pretty good. He was pretty good at that. Kick coverage wasn't really a problem.
Who was the
that
kicker?
year.
That was Catanzaro, the field goal kicker?
It was Catman was the field goal kicker. So I would say the Catman years.
Who kicked off? Did Bradley Pinion kick off? Oh, I was forgetting punting. Punting's been superb this year, man. I really like Will Spires.
Yeah, I think during the Catman years, special teams were pretty good.
Banjo wanted to know if we were going to talk about the guys boxing in the locker room. We touched on that yesterday. He said that he's surprised that was a trending topic that people got on. Yeah, I mean, looking back at it, again, I didn't think it was guys being overly aggressive with each other. I didn't think it was even a real fight. I thought it was just a couple of guys putting on gloves and going at it for a little bit. But nothing that made me go, oh my goodness, how is that even possible? Did the game lock up? Is that an unofficial result, Lowell? Is that an unofficial? Do we have to wave off the score of that game?
No, the game ended.
Oh. And then it froze?
And then it froze.
That's convenient. Does that happen a lot?
It waited. I mean, it's an old system and an old game, so I'm not really shocked.
I like watching it, though, man. It's really good. I don't know if other people out there have these simulations or if you've had a chance to see it. Head over to ClemsonSportsTalk.com right now to watch it. By the way, Lowell, you had a great article that you put together about our Way Back Wednesday edition of the program with Sam Blackman with Flying Colors, Clemson's uniforms, their history, their stories. And inside there, man, that had to be pretty neat for you now. Is your grandfather's jersey, is that on display at your house? Where is that?
It's at Mimi's house. So she has it up on her wall.
Yeah, Woody Idlet, our very own Lowell Idlet's grandfather, played in that 1959 Sugar Bowl game. What a cool jersey, man. Do you think you could fit in it? Like, I can't tell in the photo. Yeah, you were talking about how big you were by comparison to your granddad. Is that does it look on the wall like something you could put on?
I wouldn't want to try. I'll just be honest with you. I mean, yeah, I could probably fit in it, but I'd just be scared that I would mess it up in some way.
Is it autographed? I was trying to figure that out looking at it. There's something above your granddad's name. You're not sure?
I'm not really sure what that is.
Probably somewhere you wrote on it when you were little.
Can't really read it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be shocked if... Oh, I can zoom in. Hang on. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what that is.
It looks like it says Jack Hammond. Does that name ring a bell? No? Seems like an odd thing to be written on there. But it's a really good article. You did great with that. I really enjoyed that. And, of course, we were joined by Sam Blackman on our Way Back Wednesday. Sam knows it all, man. He really dives in on all of the good stuff coming out of Tiger Town in the past. And that Way Back Wednesday segment, matter of fact, it's become, I think, one of my favorite segments that we do all week. Well, it is a Friday. We've yet to give you our overrated, underrated here on the program this week. So we're going to do that when we come back in the top of hour number 2. Our most overrated teams in the polls, our most underrated team in the polls. And we've got Penn State and Michigan squaring off here in studio for you as the Penn State Nittany Lions take on the Wolverines.
Oh, and this is an even matchup here.
Can the Nittany Lions survive the khaki pants of Jim Harbaugh? Who do you like before this thing kicks off here? Not in the real game, on this simulation. Who do you like before it even gets started?
At Penn State, it typically favors the home team. I really think home field advantage is a real thing on this game. So I sort of like Penn State in a close one.
All right, I'll go with you on that too. I think Penn State's going to win this game. I think Barkley's going to have a nice game tonight on our simulation. I'm not going to tell you what's going to happen in the real game until hour number 2. When we come back, overrated, underrated in the college football polls. Stay with us.
Hi, I'm Alicia Kaufman-Quinton. My daddy, Billy Kaufman, opened Kaufman's Meat Plant at our present location in 1955. My family still works hard every day to ensure fresh quality cuts of beef, pork, and poultry. How about a tasty T-bone, ribeye, or New York strip steak? But to order at Kaufman's Meat and Place. Just look for the signs near the intersection of US 1 and I-20 in Lexington. Call us at 356-0076 to place your order. Kaufman's Meat and Place, when you want the very best your money can buy.
Love it raw? For the freshest sushi in town, Sakatumi Grill and Sushi Bar, 807 Gervais Street in the Vista. Sakatumi's flavorful grill for non-sushi fans features the Kobe burger, filet and lobster, chicken hibachi, and more. Fresh sushi, flavorful grill, Sakatumi Grill and Sushi Bar, sakifresh.com.
When a community grows, its hospital should grow too. And that's just what we're doing at Lexington Medical Center. We recently launched the largest hospital expansion project in South Carolina history. Our new 10-story patient tower will help us take better care of patients, including the tiniest infants who need special attention. It will also make room for the growing number of patients who need surgery and intensive care. At Lexington Medical Center, our mission to serve our community never wavers. We're here when you need us today, and we'll be there when you need us tomorrow.
Brakes for less is what we do. We know drums, rotors, pads, and shoes. If there's a squeal in your wheel, come see the best. 254 Stop.
Brakes for less.
Quench your thirst for the finest in adult entertainment at the one club that outdoes the competition on a daily basis. The best ladies, the best shows, and the best incentives anywhere. Like $3.50 Tito Vodka daily from open till 2 a.m. and $1.75 liquor drinks during daily happy hour 4 to 8. Let the ladies of Platinum West show you the platinum difference one dance at a time while enjoying $3.50 Tito's Vodka daily from open till 2 a.m. on Facebook at Platinum West.
Get to Nissan of Orangeburg, where this month's featured unbeatable deals include $99 a month on a new 2017 Nissan Versa, or how about $3,000 off MSRP on a 2017 Nissan Sentra. Plus, Nissan of Orangeburg will honor any competitor's mailers. Don't miss these unbeatable deals. Plus, Nissan of Orangeburg will pay your sales tax and honor competitors' mailers. See dealer for details. Nissan of Orangeburg, exit 145A off I-26, or online at NissanOrangeburg.com.
Roxanne Watson is on a mission.
Hello, how are you doing today?
She wants more people to register as organ, eye, and tissue donors.
Are you an organ donor? Yes, I am. Yay.
My goal is to sign up the most people in the United States.
What drives her? Roxanne's own life was saved through the gift of a heart transplant, made possible by an organ donor.
I decided that day that I was going to devote myself to the cause of organ donation and signing people up and honoring my donor by doing that.
Now she's back to health, and she's a powerful force helping to save lives every day through her work. Imagine what you can make possible by leaving behind the gift of life.
8 people can be helped with the major organs, and up to 50 people can be helped with a little bit of everything. And when you think about it that way, that you could help that many people, it's amazing. It really is.
Learn more and sign up as an organ, eye, and tissue donor. Go to organdonor.gov. A message from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Health Resources and Services Administration.
From the E.F. Martin Heating and Air Studios, this is Fox Sports Radio 1400. WCOS Columbia. Available anywhere you go on the iHeart Radio app.
Fox Sports trending now.
Yankees and Astros will get underway in just a little over an hour now. Yankees and Astros playing Game 6 of the ALCS in Houston with the Yankees up 3-2. Coverage beginning right now on Fox Sports 1. Luis Severino takes on Justin Verlander. National skipper Dusty Baker done after 2 seasons. He won't be back next year. Well, the Tigers officially named Ron Gardenhire their new manager. And the New York Times is saying Rockets point guard Chris Paul could miss up to a month because of a sore knee. When your mower, trimmer, or boat sits in winter storage, water, ethanol, and bad gas can gum up your engine. Ethanol Shield Fuel Stabilizer prevents this problem. In the lawn and garden section at retailers nationwide, details at mechanicinaBottle.com. Packers quarterback Aaron Rodgers officially placed on injured reserve. Vikings won't have quarterback Sam Bradford against the Ravens on Sunday. Panthers linebacker Luke Kuechly ruled out with a concussion against Chicago.
It's time for Clemson Sports Talk with Lawton Swan.
Ready, set, just call me Swanee.
Tiger style. Tiger style.
It is hour number 2. That's prime time. Right here on Fox Sports Radio, iHeart Radio. Lawton Swan, the producer extraordinaire. Lowell on Twitter. He's at Lowell CST. All right, so overrated, underrated. Lowell, you've been bugging me about this for, let's see, there's 4 episodes a night. No, there's 4 segments an hour. That means there's 8 segments a night. You wanted to do this first thing Monday. It is now the last top of the hour break we can do on a Friday. Let's see, that's 8, 16, 24, 32 segments now you've bugged me to get into overrated, underrated this week. Now, we talked a little bit yesterday about Bovada and the fact that Clemson is still the 3rd most likely team to win the national championship this year, behind only Alabama and Ohio State. But where, oh where, will the Clemson Tigers be after this weekend? Are their teams overrated in front of them that are bound to fall because of losses? Are there teams underrated behind them that are bound to surpass them with another big weekend? Who's up? Who's down? Who's in the wrong spot? Overrated, underrated, Lowell. I know you love this segment, so let's dive right on into it. And let's begin by taking a look, as we always do here, for those of you that don't know, we always do the AP Top 25. Now, what'll be fun is in 2 weeks, 2 weeks from this Tuesday,
we'll get to do this playoff poll.
It'll be the real McCoy that we get to talk about. The real deal. Now, I feel like because it's not Monday, we need to run down where these teams are, because we didn't really get into lining up the rankings like we typically do. So here's 1 through 5 to get you started. Alabama, undefeated. They own every first place vote in the AP poll. Alabama 1, Penn State 2, Georgia 3, TCU 4, Wisconsin is 5. 6 through 10 looks like this. Ohio State, Clemson, Miami, Oklahoma, and Oklahoma State. Following them all down from 11 to 15, it's Southern Cal, Washington, Notre Dame, Virginia Tech, Washington State at 15. 16 through 20, it's NC State, South Florida, Michigan State, and Michigan, and Central Florida. And 21 through 25 is Auburn, Stanford, West Virginia, LSU at 24, and number 25, Memphis. So that's a look at what we've got today in the overrated, underrated aspects of the program. And by the way, last night, I don't know if you saw it, but Memphis was down, 17-0 to Houston at the half, I believe it was.
Put up 42 in the second half.
Yeah.
How about that for an offense?
Yeah. Came away with a 42-38 victory, I think, if my memory serves me correctly. But that's a look at the polls. Now, we'll begin with the team that we believe, or the teams that we believe are the most overrated teams in the poll. Okay? Now, throughout this year, I believe, and you correct me if I'm wrong, Lowell, I have rated Alabama as an overrated team at one point along the way.
You cannot do that anymore.
I have rated Ohio State as an overrated team before.
Yep.
I believe I rated Oklahoma at one point.
I know I did.
As an overrated team in this poll. I can't remember a whole lot of the other ones, but I know those I have. Let me tell you who one of my overrated teams is in the poll right now. Penn State. The Nittany Lions at number 2. Again, I am not sold on them based on their schedule. I mentioned this to you yesterday, Lowell. They faced Akron, Pitt, Georgia State. They should have lost to Iowa. They played Indiana and Northwestern. Can I ask you a serious question?
Sure.
Which of those teams that they have faced, in your opinion, is a team that you would go, yeah, you know what? That's a team that should have challenged Penn State?
I would say Iowa. I would say Iowa just because they have the ability to make every game that they play as ugly as possible.
And my statement to that answer would be, would you agree Iowa should have won that game? 21-19, the way it played out, Penn State had to drive down at the end and score right at the end of the ball game. Iowa probably should have won that game in retrospect. Iowa had chances to win that game. Penn State wins it on the final play of the game. Touchdown in the back of the end zone. 21-19.
Now, there's something to be said for that for Penn State. You know, they were stifled all night long. You wouldn't think that they would be able to get a drive like they did against Iowa, considering how Iowa had played defensively all night. There's something to be said that they got that touchdown drive.
Yeah, they went 12 plays, 65 yards in a minute and 42, scored on the final play of the game to end it. My point being, there's no other game on that schedule, right,
No.
that they should have been threatened in.
No.
In the one game where they played a team with a pulse, they scored one on the final play of the game. Now, finding somebody that should be higher than them would be difficult, and I understand that because of just how the rankings are. But my number one most overrated team right now is Penn State, and I think tomorrow you're going to find out a little bit more about how overrated Penn State is when they take on Michigan. I'll leave it at that.
I'm sticking in the Big Ten. Number 6, Ohio State. Let's recap Ohio State's season. All right, they opened with a win over Indiana at Indiana, where they struggled the majority of the ball game before pulling away in the late third, early fourth quarter. Then they go, they play at home, lose by 2 touchdowns to Baker Mayfield in Oklahoma. Let's look at the games that they've played since. Army, UNLV, Rutgers, Maryland, Nebraska. They have played one team with a pulse this year, and they lost by 2 touchdowns. We're going to see what Ohio State's made of in a couple of weeks against Penn State.
Both teams.
Yeah.
Both teams.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really buy into any of those. Like, I keep hearing the pundits tell us how good the Big Ten is, Lowell. And I'm like, I'm not so sure it's all that good.
And look, they got to go to Iowa. They could very easily lose that ball game. They got to play against Michigan State, who looked pretty good against Michigan. And then they have that game at Michigan at the end of the year. And I don't care how bad Michigan is offensively, they're going to make that a slugfest against Ohio State. So I'm going to go with Ohio State. I think they drop another game somewhere along the way.
All right, I'm going to go to a team that just dropped a game. Washington, the Huskies, at number 12. They've got matchups this season remaining against UCLA, Oregon, Stanford, Utah, and Washington State. They got beat last week by Arizona State 13-7. They've put up points left and right. Their defense has been really good, but I watched them in that game against Arizona State, and you know when I came away? And now, they had a couple of key injuries too. I mean, they lost their starting left tackle. They lost their I can't remember who I forgot who the other kid was that they ended up losing. But it was another starter. I want to say a cornerback. Was it a cornerback low that they lost as well? But anyway, doesn't matter. I watched that team, and I could not believe that was an undefeated ball club. Now, maybe they just had a bad week. But I watched that game against Arizona State, and my overwhelming takeaway was, how in the world is this a team that's run up the score on people? It's either competition or they're just not as good as everybody believes they are. I think they're going to lose another game. That other game might come next weekend when they take on UCLA.
I'm going to the ACC. Number 8, Miami. They are living on the edge right now, aren't they?
Yeah.
Florida State, they need a last-second drive to get down the field and beat them on a miraculous toss and catch into the end zone. And then Georgia Tech, they need a last-second drive against the Yellow Jackets at home. And I'll tell you, I don't think Georgia Tech's that good of a football team. Now, they play the weird, wacky style, but Miami, you're in the Coastal. You play against them every year. You should be ready for that. And look, if Georgia Tech only had to play 3-quarter games, they would be undefeated right now. They can't close out games. Miami better be careful this weekend against Syracuse. They better be really careful with that game. And then at UNC, they'll win that one, but then they have to play Virginia Tech. They have to play Notre Dame. Those are 2 games I think they lose. I don't think Miami's a top 10 ball club.
Let's go ahead and switch, because I know we're short on time here in this segment. Let's go ahead and switch to our underrated teams. If I'm going to knock Penn State sitting there at number 2, then I'm going to back it on up to number 4, TCU, for a minute. You've been in this boat for a while now, this TCU boat, that they should be one of the higher-rated teams in the polls. And quite frankly, I'm going to get in on some of that action. This is a team that beat Arkansas. It was not a great team, but they beat Arkansas 28-7 earlier this season. They beat Oklahoma State when Oklahoma State was ranked 6th in the country, 44-31. They beat West Virginia 31-24. They beat Kansas State 26-6. Get this. They take on Kansas, Iowa State, and Texas over the next 3 weeks. Doesn't feel like there's going to be an issue there for TCU. I get the sneaky feeling that they are going to head into their matchup against Oklahoma at 9-0. And boy, oh boy, could that be a game that changes the landscape of the college football playoff. Because if TCU wins, they play Texas Tech and Baylor, who Baylor has no wins on the season. Now, in the Big 12, they've got a conference championship game this year. And it's the top 2 teams that will square off. But TCU, with a win over Oklahoma in 4 weeks on the 11th of November, could secure themselves not just a berth in the Big 12 championship game, but could put themselves squarely in the mix of the college football playoff. I know they're already there, but they could start to shut a lot of doors. I think they're underrated.
I do like that pick. I do like what TCU's doing this year. I would say they should be the number 3 team. I think the number 2 team, one of my underrated teams, is Georgia. I think Georgia's resume right now, strictly because of that win over Notre Dame and how Notre Dame's been playing lately, I think they deserve to be the number 2 team in the country. You look at what they've done to teams. All right, they beat App State 31-10. They had that 1-point win over Notre Dame at Notre Dame. They beat Samford 42-14. They crushed Mississippi State 31-3. They crushed Tennessee at Tennessee 41-0. Then they win at Vandy 45-14. And last week, they play a ho-hum game, and they beat Missouri 53-28. That was their bad game so far, as a 53-28 win over Missouri. They play Florida next week. Then they get South Carolina at home. Then they go on the road to Auburn. Now, that'll be an interesting ball game. But I think as of right now, Georgia's resume on the backs of that win at Notre Dame should have them at number 2.
All right, my last underrated team in the polls right now. I came down to 2 choices earlier today when I was looking at this list. One is completely a homer pick, and that's Clemson. And I'm not going to go with the Tigers, but I'm going to tell you why I would say they're underrated. Because they're better than Ohio State. Okay? There's my justification. If Clemson and Ohio State were lining up today on the field, you tell me, much like when Ohio State was 2 earlier this year and Clemson was 3 before the Buckeyes got beat, and I said they were overrated ahead of Clemson, they still are. I can't make an argument against, though, Wisconsin, TCU, Georgia, Penn State, and Alabama right now to not be rated over Clemson. But I can make one for Ohio State. So that made me move my name or my number down the list a little bit, and I came to Virginia Tech. And I thought back to that matchup up in Blacksburg. Clemson won it 31-17. But I remember thinking going into that game, does Justin Fuente have the horses in the stable, minus the losses they had a year ago with Cam Phillips and Jackson at quarterback, to get back to the Atlantic Coast Conference championship game? I've watched them, and I've watched Miami. quite a bit this year. And I'm going to tell you, I still like Virginia Tech to be the representative in the Coastal Division of the ACC. And I think at 14, I would put them over a couple of teams. I would probably put them over Washington. I would put them a battle between them and Notre Dame would be interesting. I don't think they're severely underrated in the polls at number 14, but I do think they are a little bit undervalued. You know what? Nah. I was going to say I might take them over Southern Cal. I don't think I would right now, but I think they're just slightly underrated in the polls. The polls are pretty good, though, this week. It was tough for me to find another underrated team.
Well, what's funny that you say that, because if we had done a third overrated team, USC would have been my pick. I think they're in for a rude awakening this weekend against Notre Dame. But my second underrated team is a team I've picked a couple of times already, and I'm going to stick with it because they're not getting the respect they deserve.
You're going
in the
Central
polls.
Florida.
I'm going Central Florida at 20. It is ridiculous that they're not higher than they are. Look at their schedule right now. They beat FIU to open the season 61-17. They were going to play a game against Georgia Tech. I'll be honest, they would have beaten Georgia Tech, but that game got canceled due to the hurricane. They went to Maryland and won 38-10. They played Memphis, that team who put up 42 points in the second half last night, and beat them 40-13. They held them to 13 points. They play at Cincinnati. That game gets stopped early in the third quarter because of a storm, and they were leading 51-23. And then they went and beat ECU 63-21 last week. This is a team on a roll right now under Scott Frost, and I don't see them losing the rest of the season.
Here's the problem that they have. Wins over Navy this weekend, or Austin Peay, or SMU, UConn, and Temple. The next 5 games. They're probably, I think we can both admit, they're probably going to go undefeated in those games.
Navy's going to give them a challenge, but I think they probably win.
They don't have that Georgia Tech game on their schedule, which will be a nice boost because it will be a Power 5 victory. They have they have South Florida in the final game, and both of those teams, honestly, could be undefeated once that game comes rolling around. All that being said, outside of that victory against South Florida or loss to South Florida, whichever way you look at it, what is the other game that a voter in the college football playoff out in Grapevine, Texas would go, that's a, you know what I mean? Like,
I don't think they're a playoff team. I just think they're underrated at number 20.
Well, no, I agree, but you see where their problem is. There's not a lot of upward mobility for them. What they're going to have to hope is that teams ahead of them begin losing, unfortunately, because they just don't have a marquee, quote, victory right now, and the one that they would have, it comes at the end of the season. So we'll see from there. Stay with us here on Fox Sports Radio.
Do you want a pharmacy that treats you like a person and not just a number? Then let Craig and Lori at Southlake Drug show you what a pharmacy should be. Fast, friendly, and professional. Southlake Drug can transfer your prescriptions and take the hassle out of getting your medicine and getting you on your way. Southlake Drug takes all major insurance programs, including Medicare, Medicaid, and state employees, and they provide immunization services, including flu shots with no wait and no appointment. Southlake Drug, 1856 Southlake Drive in the Food Line Shopping Center, 399-7701, or southlakedrug.com.
Tiger fans, look no further than the Tiger Sports Shop in Clemson for all your game day gear. Since 1974, they've brought you everything Clemson for the Clemson fan, with quality brand names such as Nike, Under Armour, Antigua, Ping, and many more. From hats to t-shirts to tailgate, the Tiger Sports Shop has all the Clemson apparel a true Tiger fan needs. With 2 convenient game day locations in Tigertown, shop where I shop at I Am Ibrahim's Tiger Sports Shop. They fuel the passion of Tiger fans everywhere. Check them out online, tigersports.com.
Attention, anyone who's suffering from lower back pain. Right now, Health Source is offering our listeners an absolutely free back pain consultation on a first-come, first-served basis by calling 803-218-9047. Our doctors can find the root cause of your lower back pain and show you how to get well fast and stay well longer. No more pain. No more feeling worn out. Essentially, no more not feeling like yourself. Call 803-218-9047.
Looking for South Carolina's favorite country? You'll find it at 97.5 WCOS.
Clemson Sports Talk, Fox Sports Radio. Lowell, the producer, in the building. 803-978-1832. I thought it was a good overrated, underrated segment. Now, in our Saturday simulation of the Friday edition of the program, Penn State, Michigan, all not up at 10. Now, you teased earlier that you thought Southern Cal was going to learn a little bit of a lesson this weekend from Notre Dame. I'm going to go and tell you, I think Penn State's going to learn a little bit of a lesson from Michigan. And what have I said? What have I called Michigan all season long? This is the moment that Michigan can break from being known as Florida with a win over Florida. They can actually become Michigan with a win over Penn State this weekend.
I think they can do what Iowa did, which is just make that an ugly-looking ball game. And, Don Brown, the defensive coordinator for Michigan, who was at Boston College, so, Boston College's defenses under him were incredible. He's doing the same thing at Michigan. He's going to take away. Now, it's hard to say he'll take him away. He's going to contain Saquon Barkley. And so the question is, can Trace McSorley put the team on his back and win the game for Penn State? He did it against Iowa, but it wasn't pretty.
Be Greg McElroy. Don't lose the game. Don't lose the game.
Here's the problem. McSorley isn't a game manager. He likes to try to make plays. And if you try to force something against Michigan, they're going to take it to the house on you. Because they might not have an offense, but they have a really good defense.
The other side of that coin, I guess, from the Michigan perspective is Harbaugh's got something to prove, right? I mean, if I said, hey, Jim, what's your signature victory during your time at Michigan? Does he have? Yeah, I wish I should have hit the crickets button, right? Nothing. And so, for Harbaugh, while I believe there's a large percentage of Michigan fans that would label his time in Ann Arbor as a success.
Well, success is relative considering what they were before him.
Right? Okay. So you're with me here. While I think there are a large percentage of people that would label it as a success, you cannot in any way, shape, or form look at what they've done and go, marquee win. He had a chance to get one 2 seasons ago. Do you remember this game? You'll remember the play.
Michigan State?
Yes.
Could have had it this year too.
They've had their chances. If they get this one though, Lowell, what happens to Michigan in terms of the belief of what they'll be this season? I mean, with a victory here, all of a sudden in Beaver Stadium, does that change the complexion of Michigan's year? Now, I noticed Wilton Spate is playing in this game, but he is not playing in the real game because he's got a neck injury. That may be a bit of a flaw.
Well, let's just be honest. It's not going to matter who's at quarterback for Michigan because the quarterback doesn't really do anything. So I'm just going to go ahead and say it doesn't matter.
With Spate out, though, although he had not been, like you said,
he likes throwing picks too, so it really doesn't matter.
The other question comes on the other sideline. I don't know that there's 2 coaches I dislike more than James Franklin and Jim Harbaugh. Some of the gamesmanship things that Franklin have done in recent memory.
Funny story, and I know he's probably listening right now, but my Uncle Kevin, who likes to call in.
He's a big fan of James Franklin, from what I understand.
Yeah, he played with James Franklin in college. And
really?
He was not a fan. He was not a fan of James Franklin, so just gonna leave it at that.
Is that on the record?
What, that he's not a fan of James Franklin?
Yes.
He would call in and tell you he doesn't like James Franklin.
Well, Kevin, I'm not a fan of James Franklin either. I was kind of a fan of James Franklin at Vanderbilt. Like, there's certain schools that you can coach at that I can overlook your, I don't know, the attitude and the just kind of the air that you put off, I can ignore it because you're taking the job at Vanderbilt. I'm glad you're being a little bit cocky. I'm glad you got a little bit of extra, punch when you talk, and maybe you're challenging Alabama and other schools in that league who you can't really hold a candle to, but you're going to be willing to do it. But then when you're at Penn State and you're playing Georgia State, right? It was the Georgia State game, I think it was, and they were up, was it 50? I don't remember. Was it 56-0?
Something like that.
And Georgia State runs out a field goal kick, to kick a field goal late in the game. And instead of just letting it happen, he iced their kicker, and he's up 56-0. That's just a jerk move. It's just a jerk move. I mean, there's no reason to ice the kicker from Georgia State. If anything, you should want that kid from Georgia State to get that opportunity to kick that field goal, to get a little practice, because aren't we still collegiate sports, intercollegiate athletics? Yeah, I mean, is it so cutthroat that when you're at Penn State and you're a top 5 team in the country, you can't allow Georgia State, the Panthers, who have been in existence as a college football program for 10 years?
Has it been that long?
7 years? Not long. To try to kick a field goal at the end of the game without feeling compelled to call a timeout to keep a shutout intact. And then you cover it up. You go, oh, well, we really didn't have our personnel in there that knows how to line up for a field goal attempt when you're up 56-0. And by the way, Lowell, you do know when they called the timeout, the majority of the guys were lined up correctly. It's not. Well, it's not. We're not doing brain surgery here. We're lining up for an attempt.
Well, even if they weren't, you let them line up wrong, and then you show them on film what they did wrong, and you practice it.
Yeah, just getting the 4-3, play a kick safe. Make sure that they don't try to pull one over on you and throw a touchdown pass.
By the way, Georgia State's first season was 2010, so this is year 7 in Georgia State football history.
Do I get some credit for that?
Well, you said 10 at first.
I have a child older than Georgia State football. Okay? I have a child older than Georgia State football. You know what? The last time Tennessee beat Alabama, there was no Georgia State football. Georgia State football wouldn't come around for another 3 years or so.
You do know who Georgia State's coach is.
Is it still Bill Curry?
No.
Oh. No, I don't, dude.
Sean Elliott.
Really? Get this. Former South Carolina assistant Sean Elliott at Georgia State. Didn't realize that. Wasn't Michigan, maybe this is why he did it. Wasn't Michigan and Jim Harbaugh really into the whole satellite campus thing and partnering up with Georgia State? You throw it in your Google machine. I think you're going to find that Jim Harbaugh and Georgia State were in cahoots to bring Michigan football to the South to get recruits. It made Dabo Swinney and all the other coaches in the area upset, Nick Saban and all. But ultimately, maybe it made Penn State angry. Maybe it bothered James Franklin that Georgia State was in cahoots with Michigan.
Well, I'm saying a Georgia high school coach did invite Jim Harbaugh to host a satellite camp at his school.
Not Georgia State?
I'm not saying anything about Georgia State.
You gotta dig a little deeper during the break. All right, we're going to come back here. Fox Sports Radio 1400 the Midlands. Fox Sports Radio 101.9 at 10:50 a.m. Myrtle Beach, Conway. And, of course, you can listen to us on the iHeart Radio app on your Amazon Echo or Google Home. We'll be right back in 3 minutes, and we'll know for sure whether Georgia State and Michigan were in cahoots to hold down the Nittany Lions.
At OPEX Columbia, we aim to inspire, empower, and challenge individuals to reach their highest potential. We take this mission very seriously and sincerely desire to help people achieve the goals they set out for themselves. OPEX Columbia is where you will excel no matter what your goal, whether that be health and wellness, body composition, or being a competitive athlete. We are conveniently located downtown across from the South Carolina Baseball Stadium. Contact us at opexcolumbia.com and mention this ad to receive 10% off your 3-part assessment.
Ever had that small crack in your windshield that turned into a very large crack overnight? Hi, I'm Ray.
And I'm Mary Ann, and we're with Absolute Glass.
We are your only local high-end auto glass specialist in the Midlands, used by high-end car dealerships. And we absolutely have you covered.
Whether it's a small or big crack, you can be confident in our certified technicians to get the job done right the first time.
Visit AbsoluteGlassInc.com for a quote or call 951-7200.
That's AbsoluteGlassInc.com or 951-7200.
Our customers receive the best heating and air conditioning service in South Carolina. Hi, I'm Tim Mosley, and I can make that statement because that's what our customers tell us every day. We call it quality confirmed. Call us at 803-233-7172, and we'll call you when the job is done to confirm we met your expectations. That's quality confirmed. We're Carolina Conditions, and we're committed to meeting your expectations. 803-233-7172. Call us at 803-233-7172.
Increase strength, fuel athletic performance. Get amped at GNC. As part of your workout program, GNC Amp Waybolic Protein is clinically proven to increase strength in just 8 weeks. For a limited time, buy one GNC Amp Protein, get one half off. Mix and match GNC's #1 selling protein between original, power, and ripped powders. Amplify your strength today with buy one, get one half off GNC Amp Protein. Hustle into GNC or visit GNC.com before November 1st. Get undefeated protein performance only at GNC.
Have you been thinking about sprucing up your yard, debating between pine straw or mulch? Call my friends at Carolina Turfgrass to get your yard looking as great as mine right now. I chose to go with pine straw this year, and it looks incredible. Carolina Turfgrass is conveniently located at 5400 Augusta Road in Lexington, and if you need your order delivered, they can take care of that too. In addition, Carolina Turfgrass carries a wide variety of turfs, including Centipede and Bermuda. For unmatched quality and service, call Carolina Turfgrass, 446-6525. Look for Carolina Turfgrass on Highway 1 in Lexington.
Tonight, the skies will stay clear all night long, and the temperatures will drop down to the low 50s. Tomorrow, sunny and warm. Afternoon highs reaching into the low 80s. For Channel 25 ABC Columbia, I'm Chief Meteorologist John Farley.
This report is brought to you by Publix Supermarkets.
Hunger is a reality for so many families in our communities. Give them hope and help alleviate hunger by donating to Food for Sharing today at your local Publix, because giving even a little can make a big difference.
You're listening to Clemson Sports Talk with my dad, Lawton Swan, on Fox Sports Radio 1400 and on the iHeart Radio app.
A little bit of a twist here to our story about Penn State and Georgia State and Michigan. So Jim Harbaugh was big on having the satellite campuses. We got this straightened out thanks to our trusty Google machine. This just took a turn for the worst. Harbaugh's big into having the satellite campuses.
Georgia State was too. You were right about that part.
The problem was Georgia State wasn't partnered with Michigan. Georgia State was partnered with Penn State. Do you understand what that means? Okay, so the level of being a jerk went from significant jerk to unbelievably significant jerk. By the way, Sean Elliott, former South Carolina offensive line coach and
interim head coach,
is the head coach at Georgia State. This is a team you partnered with 2 years ago to come down so that you could improve your recruiting. Why wouldn't you let them kick a field goal?
Because they're not partners anymore? Because there's no satellite camp?
Wow. That's the most ridiculous. That is the most ridiculous thing I've heard of in my life. 803-978-1832. If you want to be a part of the program, you can. You can hit us up via the Ocean Reef Resort text line. Our text line number is 803-450-0086. 803-450-0086. I do what I can. But that just beats all. By the way, in our official simulation, Michigan leads Penn State 20-13 heading into the fourth quarter here on the show that shakes the Southland. Coach Mike, what's up, man?
Hey, man, that game, I wish they could both lose, but that's improbable or impossible, actually.
I hear you. Hey, let me ask you, Coach Mike, have you been able to go to the new Clemson Sports Talk website yet?
Not been there yet.
All right, well, that's happening when you get off the phone, or else.
Well, I can't. I got to eat dinner with it. So
okay. Well, that's fine. Then later, at some point after you get off the phone. How about that?
I will. I've been meaning to. I'm sorry I haven't, but James Franklin, after he was whipping up what Georgia State or whatever, and they interviewed him, and it was like one of those. Well, the other team's supposed to stop me, things like that. Now, you don't call timeouts and Isaac like it's a new Division I. It's just. Like, dude, I was calling to talk about Clemson football. The new definition of Clemsoning is shutting you out in bowl games.
Okay.
That's the new definition of Clemsoning. So I can't wait till we Clemsoning Penn State in a year or two.
Wouldn't that be
I would
nice?
love to see it. Yeah, one of the local radio shows this morning, it's from 12 to 1 on 107.5. I don't want to mention his name. He doesn't like Clemson, but he was doing the scenarios about who's going to be in the playoffs, and he was like, Alabama, obviously, and then he had the other two, but he didn't have Clemson. Even though if Clemson wins out and wins the ACC championship, he still had like Penn State or Georgia still being the fourth team in the playoff. I'm like, my gosh, can you not believe it? We've been in the championship game the past 2 years, won it last year.
Yeah.
And you still won't take an ACC champion with one loss to be in the fourth slot.
Hey, you know what? Time will tell. Time will tell, man. Hey, Coach Mike, I appreciate the phone call. I'm not sure what station you're talking about. Never heard of them. 803-978-1832 is the number. The hashtag on Twitter, CST Show, at Clemson Sports. Lowell, the producer, in the building. What do you think about that scenario, though, Lowell? I mean, is there a chance? I mean, we just mentioned how TCU's sitting. You know where Georgia is. We know Georgia and Alabama have to square off. And I know we got the College Sports Corner brought to you by our good friends down at Ferry Chevrolet Cadillac coming up. But do you buy any scenario where Clemson wins out and wins the ACC championship and they're not in?
No.
I don't either. I think just the panache, just the swag of being the defending champs gets you in.
You don't leave the defending national champion out without a chance to defend their title. It just doesn't happen.
I agree. I think that's – I mean, I really agree. As ridiculous as that sounds.
You would have to put an asterisk by the whoever the champion is because they didn't beat the defending champion.
Yeah, because if it's like there's a bunch of teams there at what would it be at that point, 12-1 or whatever, the defending champs have to be one of the four. They have to be, especially given what Clemson has done thus far this season. And then they would have gotten a crack at either Virginia Tech again or Miami. So, all right, let's head down to Ferry Chevrolet Cadillac in Orangeburg real quick. It is the College Sports Corner.
Clemson Sports Talk presents the College Sports Corner, brought to you by Ferry Chevrolet Cadillac. Just a short drive down I-26 at exit 145A in Orangeburg. Now, CST reporter Lawton Swan.
All right, Mr. Producer Extraordinaire, doing work, College Sports Cornering it up. I saw you bring in, this was great, Lowell. I couldn't believe you carried in that 50-pound box of hermetically sealed envelopes today from the trunk of your car. Did you? Who bought that for you? Was that a gift? Somebody sent a listener sent you a box of hermetically sealed envelopes?
Oh, I thought you left it. It was just kind of left on my doorstep.
No. The hermetically sealed envelope fairy, I think, dropped them off at your house. It's been. One time when I was a kid, the salt and pepper fairy brought some salt and pepper to our house. I'm not really sure what that was about. Anyway, that's a true statement.
Okay. I don't know where to go with that.
It wasn't the salt and pepper fairy. It was the ground pepper fairy. Something like that. Anyway, Lowell. College Sports Corner topics?
Well, we talked yesterday about Michigan State running back L.J. Scott getting arrested for a 7th time for having a suspended license.
That's unusual?
A little bit. But L.J. Scott apparently has got his license issue all figured out. L.J. Scott now has a valid driver's license, free of any restrictions, and he will play against Indiana.
Say that again.
He now has a valid driver's license without any restrictions, and he will play against Indiana.
That is the weirdest 2-day story you've ever given me on the College Sports Corner. Okay. If you say so. You ever seen the movie License to Drive with Corey Haim? I kind of get the feeling that that's what I'm looking at. I don't know that he's actually got his license, Lowell. I'm concerned about the validity of this story. Next topic.
Rutgers and Maryland were scheduled to play a game on November 4th, but they're going to, and let me clarify, they're going to play at Yankee Stadium. But that is now going to be moved because of the Yankees' postseason run. Is it a little premature to move them out of the way?
It is, but you got to do something because you don't have all that long to fix it. The other side of this coin that I will say is this. Maryland and Rutgers should both just forfeit that game.
I'm not going to watch that football game.
You do realize they get like one. Well, we got to head to break. We'll be back. Stay with us.
Need custom shirts, hats, or uniforms? How about promotional giveaways for your business or organization? Need fast turnaround times? Look no further than Meridian Printing and Promotions. Located in Lexington, they provide an in-house art department, in-house screen printing, and in-house embroidery services to the Midlands and beyond. For the absolute best quality products and services, contact Meridian Printing and Promotions, 785-4990. Check them out online, mbspromo.com.
Does your water have a bad taste and odor, high content of chlorine and chemicals, and hardness? Then call the plumbing pros at Metz Plumbing for a free water analysis. Metz Plumbing is the exclusive dealer for Connecticut Water Systems, the best drinking water system in the world.
732 Tiger fans, look no further than the Tiger Sports Shop in Clemson for all your game day gear. Since 1974, they've brought you everything Clemson for the Clemson fan, with quality brand names such as Nike, Under Armour, Antigua, Ping, and many more. From hats to t-shirts to tailgate, the Tiger Sports Shop has all the Clemson apparel a true Tiger fan needs. With 2 convenient game day locations in Tigertown, shop where I shop at I Am Ibrahim's Tiger Sports Shop. They fuel the passion of Tiger fans everywhere. Check them out online, tigersports.com.
You got the bye week blues. You got the bye week blues.
Are you a South Carolina Gamecock or a Clemson Tiger fan and have no game to go to this week? Oh, you got the bye week blues. Satterfield's Jewelry Warehouse has the cure. Get 15% off any South Carolina Gamecock or Clemson Tiger apparel. All sterling silver this week is 20% off. See our huge selection of bracelets and beads for 50 to 80% off. Need a new watch? Get 30% off any Citizens watch. Get ready for Christmas by laying away anything with just a $10 deposit. All gold jewelry, rings, pendants, earrings, chains, bracelets. This week, get 15% off. Gold stackables, a buy one, get one half price. Any ring sized under 2.5 millimeters, just $10. Sterling, 10K, 14K. Buying gift cards, get 10% off any gift card purchase this week. Say goodbye, bye week blues. Hello savings this week at Satterfield's Jewelry Warehouse for life's every moment.
At Progressive, we think your custom cupcake shop is first class. Yeah, your cupcakes were first class from your first day of cupcake class right up till you graduated. First in your class. And a first-class, first-in-class top brass like yourself deserves Progressive Business Insurance. With over 30 business and vehicle options, you'll feel like you and your cupcakes are flying. First class. So move your center of mass to ProgressiveCommercial.com real fast. Now you're cooking with gas. Progressive Casualty Insurance and Affiliates.
Looking to get away without having to spend a whole day traveling to your destination? Ocean Reef Resort offers 1, 2, 3, and 4-bedroom accommodations with the comforts of home and boasts the best oceanfront views. Swim in their sparkling indoor and outdoor pools, relax in their hot tubs, try out the Adventure Oasis pool with adult-sized water slide, or just float down the 250-foot lazy river. Visit us at oceanreefmyrtlebeach.com or call us at 1-866-935-0530 to learn more.
For more information about contests on this station, go to foxsportsradio1400.com/rules. Welcome back to Clemson Sports Talk, your iHeart Radio home for the 2016 College Football National Champion, Clemson Tigers.
What have you done for me lately? It's a fair question. Just don't lose sight of the bigger picture. Don't forget history. Lucky for us at Clemson, the answer to the questions, what have you done for me lately, and what have you done always, are the same. We win.
Clemson Sports Talk final segment of the week. We got Lowell's Locks coming up. All that good stuff. Lowell, before the show, we talked a little bit, or actually early in the show, we talked a little bit about Mustafa Muhammad. Ridge Point Panther. Under Armour All-American. Would he commit to Clemson? Would he commit to Michigan? 2 commits tonight. Going elsewhere. Not interested in being a part of the Clemson Tigers. As Mustafa Muhammad, tight end prospect. I mean, this guy's a good tight end. I like him. Commits to Michigan tonight. No surprise he was a Michigan lean, as I said earlier, for everybody. But you kind of hope maybe if you're the Clemson Tigers, but that's 2 guys potentially that Clemson was trying to target who have chosen to go elsewhere. 803-978-1832. Speaking of Michigan, they got a pretty big matchup tomorrow against Penn State. Well, tonight in our official Saturday simulations of the Friday edition of the program, Michigan, with a drive late, scores with 17 seconds left for a 27-20 victory over Penn State.
A little more scoring than I would have thought.
As I said earlier, though, I believe Michigan's going to teach Penn State a little something tomorrow as well, because Penn State, I think, is an unproven ball club here heading into tomorrow's matchup between those 2 teams. But we can't get to tomorrow's matchups without Lowell's Locks over the weekend. Lowell, lock number 1.
Notre Dame and USC. USC traveling to play Notre Dame in South Bend, Indiana. I told you, I thought Notre Dame was going to teach USC a little bit of a lesson. Notre Dame, 3.5-point favorite. That spread's way too low. Spread's way too low. I think that's easy money. USC, too banged up. Josh Adams is a hoss. Brandon Wimbush is about as healthy as you can get, I think, at this point in the season. I think Notre Dame puts it on them in the run game late in the game. They wear down USC. I have Notre Dame winning it by 17 to 20 points.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa. That game's at Notre Dame?
It is.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm going to tell you, Sam Darnold, if he gets going, he's tough to stop. He's got weapons around him. He's good.
Their offensive line is atrocious.
That is the concern, and that's part of the reason for my reservation. I'm saying they're going to win that game, but I don't think it's going to be 17 or 20 points.
I think it's ugly. I think that game turns ugly.
I'll take Southern Cal by 3. Late field goal wins it.
Ooh, buddy, I strongly disagree with you. Louisville, 6.5-point underdog at Florida State. Now, Louisville did just lose a game to Boston College. Here's the thing. Louisville's defense is atrocious. Let's just get that out of the way now.
Fair.
But I don't know that Florida State's offense is good enough to take advantage of how bad Louisville's defense is. Louisville has problems in the secondary. I think that's their biggest concern. Do you trust James Blackman to go out there and sling it around?
Me? No.
Yeah, I don't either.
I mean, I'd struggle to trust him to beat the reigning Heisman Trophy winner. I mean, that's I think the difference is Lamar Jackson, I think, is good enough to kind of keep it within arm's reach. I think Florida State pulls it out at home. I do, because I think at the end of the day, they're going to be able to run the ball with Cam Akers and Jacquez Patrick. But I don't think they cover 6.5. I think that spread's way too large. Now, that's a noon game, and you might remember, Lowell, it was a noon game last year as well, and that did not go so well for Florida State.
Florida State's playing a little better defensively this year than they were last year.
Fair enough. Yeah, I think Florida State probably wins that game.
I just think they're going to be able to run the ball, and that's going to be the difference in the ball game.
Well, and it's not like Lamar Jackson's been a world beater this year. You know what I mean? He has not been a world beater this year.
Kansas is a 39-point underdog to TCU, one of those underrated teams that we talked about. Here's the thing. TCU and Kansas, the past couple of years, you would think TCU would have blown them out. That's been a really close ball game the past few years for some reason. I don't know why, but Kansas keeps on playing TCU close. I don't think TCU gets anywhere near to covering 39 points against Kansas. I struggle to see TCU winning this game by any more than 24 points. I think Kansas covers 39 against TCU.
You know, you said you do think they cover 39, or
yes.
they don't?
I think Kansas covers 39 against TCU.
Oh, Kansas covers 39.
Right.
TCU's been good, but 39 is a lot of points. I was always taught if it was more than 20, don't take it. Don't do it. So, unless now Alabama's playing. Alabama,
they're a 36-point favorite. I was tempted to take Tennessee, and then I realized Tennessee hasn't scored in 10 quarters.
You know, I heard, and they hadn't won in 10 years. I heard Clemson's loss to Syracuse was the largest upset for Clemson in 40 years in terms of being a favorite and getting beat. All right, Lowell, we got one final lot because we don't have any Carolina or Clemson predictions this week.
Right, Penn State and Michigan. Penn State 9.5-point favorite. Playing at home, revenge factor. They got crushed last year by Michigan. Here's the thing. I think Michigan and Don Brown are good enough to take away Saquon Barkley and make Trace McSorley beat them through the air. They have the weapons at wide receiver, and Trace McSorley is a pretty good quarterback, so they're going to make their plays. They do not win this game by 9.5 points. I see Penn State winning by 3 against Michigan.
I'll make it short and sweet because I know I don't have much time. I see Michigan winning. I don't know by how much, but I think Michigan's going to upset Penn State tomorrow. The apple cart gets stirred up in college football. By the way, Lowell, if you're interested right now, the Warhorses are live on TV. If you want to tune in to watch them, a little shakedown of the Bamberg Earhart Red Raiders. I'll take the Barnwell Warhorses tonight over the Bamberg Earhart Red Raiders.
I don't know anything about it, but I'm picking against Barnwell just because you're pulling for them.
That's all the time we've got for tonight. Thank you for a great week down on the Grand Strand on Fox Sports Radio 1019 at 1050 a.m. And thank you here in the Midlands on Fox Sports Radio 1400. Until Monday, as always, y'all take care now. And go Tigers!
Hi, I'm Alicia Kaufman-Quinton. My daddy, Billy Kaufman, opened Kaufman's Meat Plant at our present location in 1955. My family still works hard every day to ensure fresh quality cuts of beef, pork, and poultry. How about a tasty T-bone, ribeye, or New York strip steak? But to order at Kaufman's Meat and Place. Just look for the signs near the intersection of US 1 and I-20 in Lexington. Call us at 356-0076 to place your order. Kaufman's Meeting Place, when you want the very best your money can buy.
Love it raw? For the freshest sushi in town, Sakatumi Grill and Sushi Bar, 807 Gervais Street in the Vista. Sakatumi's flavorful grill for non-sushi fans features the Kobe burger, filet and lobster, chicken hibachi, and more. Fresh sushi, flavorful grill, Sakatumi Grill and Sushi Bar, sakifresh.com.
When a stroke happens, every second counts. So don't drive and call 911 to get to the emergency department as soon as possible. At Lexington Medical Center, we're pleased to serve our community. As a certified primary stroke center, our acute stroke team rapidly evaluates patients and provides them with the fastest treatment possible. This specialized care limits the chance of brain damage and gives stroke patients a better chance of full recovery. Act quickly at the first sign of a stroke and count on the Stroke Center at Lexington Medical Center to provide you with the best possible care.
For 28 years, the professional staff of the Hobbs Group and Hobbs Group Advisors has been dedicated to helping others achieve their financial goals by delivering quality, objective financial and accounting solutions to a diverse client base of individuals and businesses all over South Carolina. We offer tax and audit services, bookkeeping, payroll, litigation support, employee benefits, personal financial planning, investment management, and insurance services. Please call us at 803-799-0555 or visit our website, hobbscpa.com, to learn more about our people and services.
Hey guys, Lawton Swan here. I was hanging out in the backyard with my son Mason the other day, and he said, "Dad, you're the best father ever." I was like, "What makes you say that, son?" He said, "When I go outside to play now, I don't get eaten up by the bugs anymore." Imagine that, me, a hero, when all I did was just a couple of weeks ago call Trey Powell at Mosquito Joe with their routine service plan. No more bugs and no more bites. Make yourself the family hero. Call Mosquito Joe today,